Good evening, and thank you so much for joining me. As you know, my name is Jessica. I'm really happy that you agreed to do this assignment with me. I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to do that. Today, we're going to do something like an interview. It's an assignment I have to complete for my psychiatric rehabilitation degree. It won't be so much of me like asking you a lot of questions. Consider it more of somewhat a casual session of us just having a conversation. Okay? Um, so tell me what we're gonna do today. I just want to make sure you and I are on the same page.
Yeah, you for school.
That's right. Good. I'm glad you understand. Um, so Ian, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm with you.
I'm sorry.
I'm with you.
You're okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how would you describe yourself?
Oh, oh, oh. What you saying?
How would you describe yourself?
A likable person.
Okay. So you're saying you're easy to get along with?
Yeah.
Cool. What else?
You sound cool.
So you like to make people laugh?
Yeah.
I can see that. You made me laugh a lot, Ian. You're funny. It's cool that you like to joke around. What else? Do you want me to ask you something a little less broad?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your childhood like when you were growing up?
What age?
Let's say when you were a little kid, like 8, 9, 10 years old. Where did you grow up?
I grew up out of Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. What was that like?
It
I'm sorry?
was really nice.
It was nice? What was nice about it?
I was near my family.
Oh, okay. So you're saying you enjoyed being near your relatives. Would you like me to move on to a different question, Ian?
Yeah.
Okay. What was it like when you first found out that you were ill, that you needed some help?
Was that Ian?
What was it like when you first found out that you're ill, that you needed some help about your psychiatric illness?
I don't remember.
What was it like the first time you had to go and get services at the hospital or at the doctor's office? Do you remember?
I remember being, I remember being locked away in lithium, and I went full circle. I was much better. I felt much better.
So you're saying when you first got sick, they put you in the hospital and they gave
Yeah.
you lithium?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
I felt much better. More things are frustrating. The math, was more.
So you're saying after you started taking the lithium, things got a little bit better?
Yeah, much better.
How old were you when you first got sick?
Uh, like 13, 14.
Really?
Yeah.
And what was that like? What did you experience?
I feel a mild manicky.
Manicky?
Yeah.
Could you describe that to me?
Uh, bipolar is high.
Okay. So meaning you're saying that you would go through periods of time that you would be really, really super happy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how did your family find out that you weren't well? Like what happened?
I don't know how I felt. I wasn't around them.
So who were you around when you got sick?
The people that stole me. I stole as a child.
So you're saying that you were taken away from your family when you were
Yeah,
young?
yeah.
What was that like?
It was hard.
Who stole you?
Because these people.
Wow. That sounds like it must have been quite an experience.
Yeah.
What's your family like, Ian?
I've been around them since I'm 4 years old.
Do you remember anything about them? What are they like from what you remember?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay, that's okay. Um, how many times have you been in the hospital, Ian?
I'm not sure.
What were your times in the hospital like?
It was a hard time.
You're saying it was difficult.
Yeah.
Could you describe that to me? What was difficult about it? I want to know. I'm really curious, you know?
Mm. You know, me, I was people.
So you're saying there was a lot of confrontation when you were there? What was that like? Could you give me an example? Like what happened?
I can't say it.
Okay. Are you saying that you can't explain it because there's a lot of detail or you don't remember?
Don't remember.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you what your relationship is like with your family now, but you're saying you haven't seen them since you were very small?
Yeah.
Okay. So when exactly was the last time you spoke to a family member?
So I probably 4 days ago.
A couple days ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Who did you talk to?
Huh?
Who did you speak to from your family a couple days ago?
My father.
Your father?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your relationship with him like?
Yeah, no. Now or then.
I'm sorry, Ian?
Now or then.
Now.
Oh.
How would you describe it?
We can get along.
You can get along?
Yeah.
What was it like when you were younger?
See.
Okay. What do you like to do for fun, Ian?
Watch TV.
So you're saying you enjoy television?
Yeah.
What else?
And watch the news, watch sports.
So you're saying you enjoy catching up on current events and you like to watch sports? What sports do you like?
Basketball.
Oh, cool. I like basketball too. Who's your favorite player?
I two of them.
You have three of them?
Two of them.
Two of them. Who are they?
John Hondo Havlicek for the Boston Celtics.
Okay. John from the Boston Celtics. Who else?
And Julius Erving from the for the 76ers.
Oh, okay. Irving from the 76ers. Oh, okay. That's cool.
Have you heard of them?
I'm sorry?
Have you heard of them?
Yes, absolutely. I have. I watch a bit of basketball. Not a huge fan, but it's cool. Out of all the sports, I'd say I like it the most. What's it like at your day program, Ian?
Yeah, I can't explain it.
You can't explain it? Why is that?
Well, yeah,
For a year?
no,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
no,
You said you can't explain it. Why?
yeah,
Why can't you explain it?
well, yeah.
Okay. So, would you be able to tell me what kinds of things you do there? Like every day when you go?
I can't explain it.
How do you feel about the different healthcare services that you receive?
Yeah,
Like the services that are provided to you at the program. How do you feel about them?
it works.
It works?
Yeah.
So you're saying it functions well for you? Okay. What about the services you receive here at Gates? How do you feel about that?
It's helpful.
It's helpful?
Yeah.
In what ways?
It keeps you from relapsing.
Okay. How does it keep you from relapsing? How does it help you as an individual?
Diagnosis
Okay.
is helpful. I stay stable instead of unstable.
Are you saying that it's helpful to live in a structured environment where you could turn to somebody for help if you need it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all in all, tell me how you feel about living here. Not just about the services that are given to you, but in general. Living with other residents, being in East Brunswick. How do you feel about staying at Gates?
Mm. I feel it's helpful for my
Okay. So, you're saying it's helpful for your illness. What about the rest of you?
good.
Like the other parts of you? You're not just your illness, you're Ian, and you have an illness. So, how do you feel it works for you as a whole? You know?
I'm not going to make hospital. Yeah.
Okay. You're saying it helps with not having to be in the wards again.
Yeah.
All right. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Ian?
Well,
You said alone?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. What are your goals that you chose here?
Well,
What are your goals?
To get out of here.
To get out of here?
Yeah.
So you're saying you don't want to live at Gates forever?
No.
Okay. What are your goals that you talked about with Lauren?
What?
What are the goals that you discussed with Lauren?
Can't remember.
Okay. I wanted to ask you why you picked your goals.
What?
I wanted to ask you why you picked your goals. You don't remember them?
Yeah.
Okay. What kinds of things have you learned since you started living at Gates?
Oh, someone's in here. What?
What kinds of skills have you learned since you started living at Gates?
Cooking.
Cooking? How do you enjoy cooking?
I like it.
You do? What do you like about it?
Guys are treated but the cook.
Okay. What else? Have you learned anything else since you've been here at Gates?
I take my medication regularly.
You're saying it's been helpful.
Yeah.
What was it like when you had to take medication before you lived at Gates?
It was locked up.
You were locked up? Do you mean you were in the hospital?
Yeah.
What about when you were outside of the hospital? Were you taking medications then?
Yeah.
And what was that like? Was it easy? Was it difficult? How did you feel about it?
I was locked up for a while.
Okay. How long were you locked up for?
I'm not sure at the time.
Are you saying that it was a long, long time?
Yeah.
Okay. So long that you lost track?
Yeah.
That's interesting. How did your family feel about you going into the hospital?
I'm not asked.
You've never asked? Okay. How do you feel about moving onto supported housing one day?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
Why don't you know? Your mind isn't made up, or
It's made up.
your mind is made up?
Yeah.
Could you tell me what you mean by that?
I'm not sure what it's supposed to be.
You're not sure if you want to go into your own apartment.
Yeah.
Why?
No.
You don't know. Okay. So you're saying you're having difficulty identifying what you want to do as far as your living situation
Yeah.
in the long run?
Yeah.
Why do you think you're having trouble with that?
Wow.
Okay. How do you feel about living with other people here in Gates?
Well, I don't mind. I don't mind.
You don't mind it? So you're saying that you're okay with living with other people?
Yeah.
How would you describe your relationships with the other residents here?
I get along with them.
You get along with them?
Yeah.
Could you elaborate? Tell me, what do you mean by get along with them?
We talk to them.
So you're saying you have conversation with them?
Yeah.
I know you said that you describe yourself as comical. How do you feel about cracking jokes with the other residents?
I have.
You have? Could
Yeah.
you describe that to me?
Uh, what happened today? I can't explain it.
You can't explain it?
Uh,
Okay. How do you feel about the staff members at your day program?
and then people,
Yeah?
they care.
What kinds of things do they do for you there at the program? Like the staff members?
Listen to them.
Okay. What else do they do for you?
Huh?
What else do they do for you? You said that they help you with goals.
When we have time, we can talk. We can talk.
So you're saying you can go to them and seek support.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing. Have there ever been occasions where you went to staff there and asked them for support?
I would rather do.
You haven't had to? Okay. How do you get along with other people at the program?
You know, something.
How would you describe your friends there or the people that you interact with?
You
So you're saying that everybody's friendly?
a lot of people.
You say a lot of people are. Does that mean not everybody?
Yeah.
How are you feeling right now, Ian? You feel okay? What do you mean by okay?
Stable.
Stable.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting use of a word. What do you mean stable?
Who's gonna live my life for?
I'm sorry?
Who's gonna live my life for? And not for or for hard.
So you're saying that you feel good about where
Yeah.
you are and what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you compare living at Gates to living in the hospital?
Hmm?
Could you compare living here in comparison to you living in the hospital?
Hmm.
What's the difference?
What are you?
What's the difference between you living at Gates and when you lived in the hospital? What's different?
Not like a freedom.
Lack of freedom.
Mm.
So you're saying in the hospital things were much more restricted.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other differences that you can identify besides the freedom?
Okay. Flights and something in there.
So you're saying you were in several physical altercations while you were in the hospital? Not really. Okay. So could you describe what you mean by fights?
All the kitchens.
Altercations. Do you mean verbal altercations?
Yeah.
Could you give me an example? Like what happened?
I don't remember.
You don't remember. So you're saying you remember that there were fights, but you don't remember the specifics.
Wow. Hmm?
So you're saying that there were fights while you were in the hospital,
Yeah.
but you don't remember the specifics.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other differences? You told me that there was a lack of freedom and that there was fights. Are there any other differences between living at Gates and being in the hospital?
No trips. You're running trips now.
You don't go on any trips when you're in the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying they have you there 24 hours a day and you don't get the opportunity to leave? How did that make you feel?
Okay.
Was it hard to get used to that in the beginning?
Yeah.
What do you think was hard about it?
These supposed to be saying yeah. I live with a whole lot of people.
So you're saying you were living with more people than here at Gates?
Yeah.
Like how many people?
What's up? 20 people?
Really? And what was your relationship like with these 20 people?
You got a lot of food.
So you're saying out of 20 people, there were only a couple that you were friendly with.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why?
Not that I want to have any live.
Why?
Well, it's some mean people.
Really? So you're saying not everybody was friendly. What do you mean by mean?
People want to start trouble.
I'm sorry?
People that want to start trouble.
People that want to start trouble. What kind of trouble?
An altercation.
Are you saying a verbal altercation or a physical altercation? How would you
Both.
describe it? Really? Could you tell me about that? Would you be able to give me an example?
No. No, I understand.
So you're saying you don't know how to describe it. That's okay. How do you feel about our meeting today?
Mm-hmm.
You feel okay?
Yeah.
How do you feel it went?
I did pretty well.
You're saying it was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Ian. We're pretty much done. So what I learned about you today is that you spent quite some time in the hospital. Your illness first manifested when you were 13 or 14 years old. You talked to your family recently, and that there are some differences that you were able to identify between being in the hospital and living here at Gates. And I also learned that you're not exactly sure what you want to do as far as the future goes and your living situation, whether you might stay at Gates or go to another apartment. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about you and your experiences. Again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you just taking the time to talk to me. So thank you very much, Ian. Okay.
Okay.